Are you aware that CNN is running something that they're calling a Republican debate, but as fairness and accuracy in reporting points out, CNN has now aligned itself with this far-right network of neo-fascists. As Fair reports, tonight's Republican debate might look familiar with a well-known journalist, that would be Wolf Blitzer, posing questions to a stage full of candidates, but CNN's event is actually a co-production with the far-right Tea Party Express, which raises serious questions about a journalistic outlet's decision to formally partner with this neo-fascist political group. Good God in heaven! Now, CNN explained it this way. CNN and the Tea Party Express, along with more than 100 local Tea Party groups from every state across the country, will team up Monday, September 12th to present a first-of-its-kind debate from the site of the 2012 Republican National Convention. That'll be Tampa. The CNN statement went on to say, in addition to questions from Wolf Blitzer, audience members inside the debate hall, made up in part by members from Tea Party groups in 31 states and District of Columbia, will be invited to ask questions directly to the candidates. Questions also will be taken live from Tea Party members at debate watch parties in Phoenix, Arizona, Cincinnati, Ohio, and Portsmouth, Virginia. As Fair says, it's kind of unusual for a centrist news outlet like CNN to take an openly partisan group as a partner in producing a political event? Any progressive groups being granted any similar opportunities in recent years? Well, the answer to that is no, but that's because there is no progressive group that owns a television network or a radio network. It's pretty strange. I tuned in this thing. I'm watching this. This is like, and Wolf Blitzer should know better. I mean, he should know better. He really should. But this is like putting on the National Socialists back in the early 30s before the election. I mean, this is in Germany. This is madness. Oh well, it doesn't make any difference because the outcome of the political process has already been predetermined. But the theater is what pisses me off. The theater that's being presented under the guise of a news event or reporting, or not just tonight, but the whole schmear. I mean, the whole thing is kind of ridiculous. Well, ridiculous is kind of a namby-pamby term. It's like what Rick Perry accused of Ben Bernanke of, treason. I mean, when you have a national network like CNN, what the hell is Ted Turner doing tonight? When you have a national network like CNN, who partners up with a neo-fascist organization like the Tea Party, and Wolf Blitzer should know better. He should know better. Being Jewish, he's one of the first people who would be put to the knife. Oh, well, nobody cares. I've got to get into this little dust-up here. Donald Rumsfeld canceled his New York Times subscription. I think he did it today. And he did it because on Sunday, Paul Krugman, not in the paper, but on a New York Times blog site where Krugman has his conscience of a liberal blog piece. Under 200 words in what Krugman write, but Rumsfeld, the unindicted war criminal, got his depends in such a wad that he twittered or he tweeted, whatever the hell I call it, that he was canceling his subscription to the Times because of what Krugman wrote. Krugman, Dave Weigel, writing over at Slate, He points out that while the rest of the New York Times was turned over to 9/11 anniversary writers, Krugman vented his spleen. Years of columns were condensed into a few pithy lines. And this is, let me share with you what Krugman wrote. It's very quick. Under the heading, the Years of Shame, Krugman writes, "Is it just me, or are the 9/11 commemorations oddly subdued? Actually, I don't think it's me. And it's not really that odd. What happened after 9/11, and I think even people on the right know this, whether they admit it or not, what happened was deeply shameful. The atrocity should have been a unifying event, but instead it became a wedge issue. Fake heroes like Bernie Kerik, Rudy Giuliani, and yes, George W. Bush raced to cash in on the horror. And then the attack was used to justify an unrelated war that the neocons wanted to fight for all the wrong reasons. A lot of other people behaved badly. How many of our professional pundits, people who should have understood very well what was happening, how many took the easy way out, turning a blind eye to the corruption and lending their support to the hijacking of the atrocity? The memory of 9/11 has been irrevocably poisoned. It has become an occasion for shame, and in its heart the nation knows it." And by the way, I'm not going to allow comments on this post for obvious reasons. That's all he wrote. Now, as Robert Perry pointed out at consortiumnews.com, while Krugman is writing this, Bill Keller, the former editor of the New York Times, is writing his slobbery ass piece. Kellerman. Who am I? Bill. Oh damn it! What am I? Who am I? Who is it, Kathy? Who is the editor of Bill? Let's just call him Bill. I'm just drawing a blank on his name. He was writing his slobbery piece for the New York Times, or he wrote it for the New York Times, about how he very much supported the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq, and now he realizes that it was the wrong thing to do. And in the entire piece that he wrote, there's not a mention of the war crimes that were committed, the violations of UN treaties, the violations of judicial decisions made at Nuremberg, every criminal act that Bush and Cheney committed. Bill Keller. And the New York Times egged him on, supported them. So did the Washington Post. So did just about every goddamn newspaper in America. Nice, huh? So Krugman, in his 181-word blog, is challenging the support that his own newspaper gave. And don't even get me started on Judith Miller. That his own newspaper gave in support of international crime, criminal activity. What the U.S. established at Nuremberg was the most horrendous international crime that could be committed. It was so bad, as Justice Jackson said, it was so bad, it incorporated every single evil that could be committed on the international scene into one, and that is the unprovoked invasion of another country. And we don't care in this country. We don't give a goddamn. We have a bunch of clowns on the stage in Tampa tonight with this former Mossad operative, Wolf Blitzer, questioning Tea Party people about how they want to destroy America. It's just, this is getting sicker by the day, folks. Can I